Hi, everybody. Dave Midgley alongside Otto Simon, and this is One World Sports Radio. We're bringing you live rugby from Dublin, Ireland. This is game number one of the South Africa Autumn International Series. It's against world number one, South African world champions against Ireland number one. This shapes up to be an incredible game. These two sides, the last time they met in Ireland, South Africa received an absolute trouncing. That was a day in which South Africa would like to forget. You remember the Irish press after that one said South Africa were a spent force, and that motivated us. Surely that was the catalyst that motivated us to go on to win Rugby World Cup 2019. We're just about the similar type of distance away from Rugby World Cup 2023, and both sides will be rearing to go. So let's run through the squads rather. But before we do, don't forget to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel and ding the bell so that you know when we go live, as well as on Facebook. We're on Twitter at OneWorldSR. And if you want to support us financially, please do patreon.com/OneWorldSR. It's an exciting game ahead of us. Otto, what do you think?
Yes, that game that you were talking about earlier, Dave, wasn't that the game where Rassie Erasmus decided to come back and coach the Springboks?
The motivation is really there. He'd been part of the Munster setup, and so had seen the game from the sideline. Late change in the Irish lineup, but let's run through it. Porter, Sheehan, and Furlong are your front three. Byrne and Ryan are your loose forwards, with Peter Omani, Josh van der Vlier, and Kalen Doris are your loose three at the back. Conor Murray gets his 100th game today, an absolute stalwart of Ireland rugby. Johnny Sexton, equally his familiar partner at fly half. Mac Hansen and Robert Balakoon are your wings, 6 and 2 caps respectively. A late change for the Irish, as I mentioned. Stuart McCloskey is the man who comes in for Rob Henshaw. 100 cap difference, so that certainly will make a change in terms of experience and defensive organization. Gary Ringrose is your outside center. Hugo Keenan is the fullback for the Ireland. Otto, you've got some sight on the South African side. What are you saying?
1 to 15, Steven Kitsoff, Malcolm Marx, Frans Malherbe, Eben Etzebeth, Loot de Jager at lock, Sia Kolisi, the captain at 6, 7, Pieter Stef Toy, 8, Jasper Wiese, 9, Jaden Hendrikse, 10, Damien Willemse, Makazoloma Pimpi at 11, Kurtley Arendse at 14, Damien Dalende and Jesse Kriel in the midfield, 12 and 13, with Cheslin Colby at 15. And Scotland are just about getting ready to kick off.
Ireland.
Right to left on our screens. Ireland, excuse me.
It's confusing because they are wearing the blue kit, the blue alternate kit. High hanging kick into the 22 meters of the Springboks. Simple catch there by Cheslin Colby, and immediately thumps it out into touch on the near side of the park. So Ireland playing right to left in a blue striped jersey, or a jersey that has green accents in its stripes. South Africa in the traditional green and gold, playing left to right. It's an interesting selection for South Africa, with Cheslin Colby at number 15. Not really confident yet in the starting powers of Valeru. Dan Sheehan lining up his jumpers. First throw of the game, 10 meters out from their line out. Conor Murray sending it through the hands, and brought down in midfield is Kalen Doris. He's got good support, but Murray's going to go for the up and over the top, maybe looking for somebody with the ball. Somebody does get a hold of it. It's Gary Ringrose. Breaks away through South Africa's 22. Conor Murray getting their penalty advantage from the Georgian referee, Amok Shuhili. Now it's in the hands of Porter. He gets over the 22-meter line, but is swamped by Springboks. Again, not able to be released, and so South Africa will have to deal with the penalty inside the second minute of the game. Not rolling away is the call from the Georgian referee. His last game was the Japan New Zealand game earlier in the year, or earlier this it's Autumn International. So he's certainly no rookie. Although he does come from a smaller rugby nation, he is no muppet there. But South Africa with some early ill discipline.
Yeah, it's just relentless pressure by Ireland, coming through the middle, right up the guts, and it's working for them. They got the Springboks on the back foot, fighting fire with fire. getting the ball carriers over the advantage line, and good work by Ireland. They deserve this penalty. That will be a feather in their cap in the first 2 minutes. And it will be Johnny Sexton to line it up with the right foot right in front of the posts.
If you're imagining what their jersey looks like, it's a navy blue with lime green or perhaps shamrock green, presumably tiger stripes. They're not quite geometric stripes as you would imagine them, almost like
it's
almost pinstripes. That one goes over, and it's 3-0 to Ireland in the 3rd minute. Good to settle the nerves for the Irish men at home. They've been a world-class side. We almost expect that New Zealand are forever at the top, but it's an encounter that they will have been relishing. South Africa playing Ireland this week and France next week, so it's an interesting 2 games if you're a rugby fan. This one kicked high into the air, but it's going to come down between the 10 and the 22, but it's a bit of a knockback there from Tag Byrne. He's knocked that into touch, didn't quite catch it cleanly, and so South Africa will now have the line-out throw. It's first one for Malcolm Marx this evening. Otto, we saw, with South Africa having Joseph Dweba miss out, and we'll come back to that. De Jager with a good catch, and it goes to the back of the More Khaleesi, driving it, and it looks like it's collapsed. A penalty advantage for the Springboks. Hendrikse at the back of the ruck. Delende trying to get forward, but not able to do so. Clean movement there. Hendrikse gets it to his forwards. Can they get some forward momentum here from Malcolm Marx? He decides to go himself, tries to sell the dummy, and Visa is the recipient for the pass in that instance. Continuing to go to the far side. South Africa going through the hands and immediately brought down on the far side of the park is the South African Cheslin Colby. Can't help himself, Otto. This one going out on the far side, but can't help himself in joining out wide, can he?
That's what Cheslin Colby is going to be playing, the role of the attacking fullback, the fullback that joins the line. And he's got the speed to get back as well. If he's involved in a movement that breaks down, he's got the speed to get back to cover the kick. So that's a very shrewd move, I would say. And it's a good position for Colby to start the game. Once he gets a little bit of confidence, they can move him closer to the 10 and see what happens.
Right, coming back for the South African penalty there. It was the Irish penalty, rather. The South Africans will kick for touch on the near side. And the assistant referee on the near side is Andrea Piardi. On the far side, Mathieu Renal. South African fans will know the Frenchman Renal, but he's not the man with the whistle today. Etzebeth looking like the intended target. Marks with the throw. It is Etzebeth, and a simple catch. A maul immediately forms, and this is good work by the South Africans. Marks getting on the end of it, and immediately De Jager is in next to him to drive this maul. It's not really going anywhere. More lateral movement than forward momentum for the Springboks. Breaking away is Marks. He's brought down 9 meters short of the try line. Hendrikse looking for a forward, and he does find one. But this is massive defending early on from the Irish. They're not allowing the Springboks to get a little bit any flow to their game. Hendrikse again at the back, sending it inward towards the sticks. This time Pieter-Steph du Toit getting the ball in his hands. He's trying to get some support from Jasper Wiese, but resolute in defense are the Irish. Hendrikse going to De Jager this time. Head down and go. Not able to get any momentum. He's just running into a brick wall. Etzebeth this time, the selected target. Hendrikse going to the far side once again. Willemse tries to step one and gets brought down by the second tackler. Hendrikse now switching directions, coming to the near side of the park. 10th phase now from the Springboks. Slow boil here from the Springboks. Jasper Wiese breaks through one tackle and is brought down by the second. Good bit of support there from the Irish defense in Stuart McCloskey, a man coming in, trying to prove himself with Rob Henshaw missing out in this encounter. South Africa chipping away at the brick wall. Through the hands goes to Jesse Creel. Good support from his forwards to clean out there at ruck time. Hendrikse again looking for an option. He switches directions towards the near side of the far side of the park. Trying to get through Damien Willemse. Hammering at the door are the Springboks. Pieter-Steph du Toit brought down. It's popped up open. Good bit of work from Hendrikse to recover. Cross kick now and there's no one at home, but South Africa managed to get their hands on it. Penalty advantage. Kurtley Arendse on the ball. Ireland not able to touch it because it's a penalty advantage, and the referee eventually blows his whistle. It was an odd one, the cross kick there from Willemse.
Advantage ball. You can try funky stuff with advantage ball. I've got no problem with that. And the Springboks looking ominous here, David. If they're flowing like this, if they're playing like this, backs and forwards running together, getting the passes, getting the phases put together, the Irish are in for a long night. The Springboks are looking dangerous.
Just a word there between referee Amak Shukeli and the two captains, Siamtanda Kolisi and Johnny Sexton, just saying, let's stop this nonsense, please. And the final decision from the Springboks as we head towards the 8th minute is that they're going to go for poles. It's just to the right-hand side of the right-hand up right there. We're just having a look at this replay here, Otto. Just talk us through what had happened there, because I think the guilty man was Tart Furlong. He was just tackling the man who wasn't involved in play.
It was a very frantic passage of play. I'm seeing replays now of Kurtley Arendse getting tackled on the right wing and going down to the ground. Yes, the Irish left wing. So it was a bit frantic there with the Springboks trying the cross kick to the near side touchline. Kurtley Arendse going up for it, but the ball was just a little bit overcooked by Damien Willemse. Good idea though. Try it again. I mean, you can try the fancy stuff with advantage ball. I've got no problem with that at all. That's good coaching, I would say.
Simply slotted there by Damien Willemse. It's 3 apiece in Ireland, Dublin, Ireland, the home of Irish rugby. It's Aviva Stadium in the county of Leinster. Good opportunity here for the home team man, Gary Ringrose, as well as Jimmy O'Brien, who is the late replacement on the bench, to really put their names forward here in their home stadium. Great catch there by Pieter-Steph du Toit, towering above the Irish oncoming players. But in the middle of the park where he finds himself, Etzebeth having to get some support from Steven Kitsoff. Over the ball is the number 3 for South Africa, Frans Malherbe, recently picking up his 50th cap in the completed rugby championship. Up and under here, or box kick from Hendrikse, and it goes sour for him. But thankfully, on the near side, Damien Delende collects it comfortably, is able to steal it away out the air. Hendrikse now looking to maybe switch things up. The ball pops out back, and no word from the referee whether it was forward. No, he says it's back. So Hendrikse again having to play a bit of hide and seek with the ball as he goes to dig deep within his own ruck. And the referee saying, use it. You've got to make sure that you utilize it. You can't just leave it there at the bottom. Better kick this time from him. Coming down just over, just the other side of halfway rather. And a penalty advantage coming now for the Irish. Then absolutely smashed in midfield by Jesse Creel. McCloskey looking for some way forward. Can he seek out some space? He doesn't, and Conor Murray has to dig it out the back. Forward momentum here for the Irish. Josh van der Fleer is heading up towards that advantage line. It pops out free and has to be collected by the number 2, the hooker, a home man as well, Dan Sheehan, looking for some support. He eventually does get it, and so Conor Murray comes out the back. It's probably still an advantage. We haven't been able to see the referee for a while, and Conor Murray waiting at the back for some support. Where's he going to go? Is he going to kick it up?
Might have just been a knock-on advantage, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Good catch there by Damien Willemse. South Africa now with the ball on the 10-meter line. Pops out, and Hendrikse looks to go near side, switches up and goes to the far side. Towards the middle of the park goes Hendrikse. Again, it goes into the pocket. Willemse with the high hanging kick. It's going to come down in between 10 and 22, far side of the park. Double attempt, but a good catch in the end there from Hugo Keenan. Confident under the high ball when you're able to take it twice. South Africa with the turnover ball. Good bit of rucking there by the Springboks. Near side, kicks it through. Jesse Creel looking to chase it down, but in the end, it's Johnny Sexton who gives it away. It's a knock-on by the Springboks, and so it's a penalty advantage for Ireland. The play has not come to a halt yet. Referee Amoshukeli not interested in holding things up yet. Game continuing here. And no, has he blown his whistle? Yes, he has blown his whistle. So a halt in play. 12 minutes gone, nearly, and it's 3-3 Ireland in the pound seat for the moment. Otto Simon for the next 10 minutes.
It looks like the Springboks are trying to play the faster game here, David. I don't know if you feel the same way, but it feels like the Springboks, when they're on defense, especially, they've got a lot of energy. They're really up for this game. It's 3 points all. There's 12 minutes gone. It's a scrum to Ireland. They are just inside their own half, if I remember correctly, and it's on the far side of the field, with Ireland playing right to left on our screens. 3 points all, 12 minutes gone. Let's see. The players are taking a little bit of a break here, so there's not much rugby going on. I think it really looks like the Springboks are trying to outpace the Irish at this point.
Absolutely. It's playing them at their own game. Ireland making 46 tackles to the Springboks 9. Certainly shows how Ireland have had to defend like madmen here in the first 15 minutes of the game. Boy, oh boy, is this going to be a scrum to lick your chops at.
Conor Murray, the Centurion, has the ball for Ireland, about to put it in. It's in fact just outside the 22-meter line of Ireland, 5 meters from the far side touchline, as Ireland play from right to left on our screens. So Conor Murray with the put in here for Ireland. Scrums looking solid. Springboks caving in there, and lucky to get away with that. Some knees on the ground by the Springbok props, but Ireland have it at the back. Murray goes down the back line. The ball is under pressure. The Springbok defense coming into the line of the Irish. They managed to take it over the 22 now, as Conor Murray at the back of the ruck is absolutely swamped in the middle of the field. They're back onto the 22 now. The referee stopped the game. He says it's a knock-on advantage to the Springboks. So Ireland losing the ball in attack there, that would be very frustrating to their coaches. They had a very strong position on the field. They were putting pressure on the defense, but the Springbok defense is absolutely amazing today so far. David, how are you going to get through these Springboks?
Yeah, it certainly shows the commitment to the Springboks. A couple of massive hits early here, and it was that tackle on Conor Murray by Jasper Wiese that certainly rattled his cage.
And the timing was perfect, because he had already touched the ball and picked it up, and Wiese nailed him anyway behind the Irish maul, behind the Irish ruck there. So that's good work by Jasper Wiese. Long may that continue. Jaden Hendrikse, 14 minutes on the clock now, 3 points each. The scrum to South Africa in the middle of the park, just outside the Irish 22. It's a free kick to South Africa. Jaden Hendrikse takes it quickly. He's on to the 22. He's got support from Kulisi, who's there to take up the ball. It's Pieter-Steph du Toit, goes to the far side. Stephen Kitsoff gets it over the 22. The Irish are defending in the middle of the park. Jaden Hendrikse fumbles the ball behind the maul, behind the ruck there, but the referee has an arm out for a knock-on advantage by the Irish. Jasper Wiese takes it up 20 meters from the far side touchline. He's about 50 meters out from the goal line now. The Irish desperately trying to get the ball, and the referee rule in their favor. The man over the ball there for Ireland, we'll get his name in a second. That is the number 12, I think.
Stuart McCloskey.
Stuart McCloskey, the replacement 12 that got that steal for Ireland, a crucial one. It was inside their 22, just about halfway between the 22 and the try line, and Johnny Sexton will kick the penalty from about 20 meters from the far side touchline for Ireland, and they will send it to the far side touchline, and we'll see where the line out will be set. It was a very poor scrum there by the Springboks. Ireland would be paying attention to that, because all of the other phases of the match so far, Ireland have really been under the pump. They've really looked a little bit flaky so far.
Caelan Doris and Stuart McCloskey combining there to put pressure on the Springboks. Slap on the chest there from Doris to McCloskey. Shows how much that means, and you can see the despair on the face of the SAA coach, Mzwandile Stick, but also South Africa's assistant coach. So a bit of blood replacement, or a bit of blood work here. A couple of cotton balls in the nose there for Peter O'Mahony, the Munster man. 88 cap today. So certainly there's plenty of experience in this Ireland side, Otto, but there are such gaps in the barring, Conor Murray and Johnny Sexton, 11 through 15. The highest number of caps is 44. So there's various modes of time in the Irish jersey, and so they will be certainly just wanting to put their names on the sheet more permanently as they hope to look for a way in which they can get to Rugby World Cup 2023. Tark Byrne, rather, another Munster man, is the man who was getting some blood treatment, just a couple of gauzes and cotton balls up the nose. Obviously got a knock from one of the Springboks, and Lut Jager is getting some tape strapping on his knee.
Yeah, so not much rugby going on. 15 minutes on the clock. Mzwandile Stick and the other gentleman, there's Rassie Erasmus, is in the coaching box with the Springboks there. He's got a waiter's outfit on, white shirt, black pants. He's not officially part of the team.
Good to
he's
have
just
him back
lurking
as
there
well.
next to the wall. Yeah.
He said he's officially resigned as a water boy.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
No, I've resigned. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, you keep telling yourself that, Rassie. I don't think Rassie is the type of person that would retire from anything. Doesn't matter what he was doing.
Yeah, it was just McCloskey landing on the Jager's knee there that bent, sideways on his knee, and that's why he decided. Finally, we get rugby underway, and Sexton will kick it to touch.
Penalty to Ireland inside their own 22. Sexton sends this into the Dublin air, and it's going to find touch. The AR has the flag up just inside the Ireland half on the far side of the field. So let's see if the Boks can steal another line out here. They've been good in the set phases in the June internationals. And so Ireland with the throw, it goes to the back, neatly taken and into the back line, but absolutely smashed. Ireland keep the ball alive. It's coming to the near side of the park. They're over the halfway line. What a good hands there by Ireland, avoiding the physical defense by the Springboks, but no more. Tackled on the 10-meter line. Now Ireland behind the advantage line, trying to muscle their way over. They are just inside the Springbok half in the middle of the park. Johnny Sexton sends the kick to the far side. It's collected there by O'Mahony, I think, number 6, that was out on the right wing. Immediately bundled into touch on the far side, so it will be a throw into the Springboks. But it was enterprising play by Ireland.
Yeah, he's coming back for the penalty advantage. What a tackle by the Springboks. There was 2 in that passage of play, or 2 that looked like, I don't know, freight train running over a mouse, because boy, oh boy, did the Springboks smash the Irish there. He's going to go
was brutal.
Here. I'd love to know what that was for. Just having a look at this team effort here, whether or not there was a dump tackle. That's what they're looking at. A dump tackle on Mac Hansen by Cheslin Colby in combination with Peter Steph du Toit. I think it's not looking great here for the Springboks, is it? Because that looks very much like they've driven him into a dump tackle. He's been folded in twain there.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. The player is getting pile drived into the ground by Peter Steph du Toit and Cheslin Colby.
Well, somebody's going to get the
that's not looking good. That's not going to end well for the Springboks. The player did make contact with his shoulder. He sort of rolled with the impact. They did not plonk him down on his head, so that's a good sign. That's usually when they freak out and pull out the red cards.
Maybe you could say that number 7, Josh van der Fleer for Ireland. Van der Fleer. Maybe he landed on them, and that's why, if we look at this angle here from the side on, maybe he landed on them and pushed, and that was what pushed the momentum. But at the same time, you could also say that he was already in that role that was started here. And,
okay, so we're not listening to the officials. We can't hear what they are talking about. But as we know, they do start at red and then negotiate down. to see what was mitigating, what was aggravating in terms of circumstances. So we'll see what they come up with here. The referees look like they reached a decision. They are calling the captains over. They're calling Cheslin Colby. He's
okay. There's a yellow card for him.
He's gonna get a yellow. He's gonna get a yellow. I think that's fair. I mean, if the shoe was on the other foot, if it was one of our players being tackled like that, I would have been baying for red. I must admit. I've seen tackles like that getting red cards. Okay, so Ireland have the penalty 5 meters from the near side touchline on the 10-meter line of the Springboks. They're going to send this over the line on the near side as close as they can to the goal line as Sexton steps forward now, taps it lightly and ever so gently, and about 20 meters out from 15, 20 meters out from the Springbok try line. So well inside the 22, good position here for Ireland. And looking at the replay again, you're absolutely correct, Dave. There were Irish players involved, so that I think saved Colby from the strongest sanction there.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough outing for South Africa in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're going to have the put in here to the line out. And the throw goes to the back, neatly taken, popped off to Conor Murray, the number 9, scrambled pass out at the back, and Makazolo Mapimpi says the bus is full, my friend. The Springboks are all over this ball. The Irish are forced into the mistake. The Springboks have the penalty in the middle of the park, and what a defensive attack by South Africa. That's defensive attack. That is just wonderful.
Like a pack of rabid dogs, they swamped the Irish player there. It was Conor Murray through to McCloskey. McCloskey on to Hugo Keenan through Mac Hansen's hands. But boy, oh boy, did he get smashed by Makazole Mapimpi.
And perfect timing. Just as his toes hit the tops of the fronds of the grass, Mapimpi had him in his hip. That was beautiful. Okay, so 18 minutes gone, 18 and a half minutes gone. It's 3 points each, and South Africa are now advancing. Steven Kitsoff looking like he's walking into an MMA fight. The way he's bobbing his head and just the attitude of the box now. Marks with the ball on the far side touchline, and Marks with the throw to De Jager. Ball is set 5 meters out from the far side touchline. The Springboks trying to edge forward. Ireland putting up a decent maul defense here. The Springbok machine edging forward. Now Hendrikse has the ball at the back. He gets into the hands of Damian Dalendi, who rumbles forward, refuses to go down, and gains some meters for the Springboks. Knock on, says the referee, 15 meters from the far side touchline, just outside the 22. Ireland managing to disrupt the possession there by Damian Dalendi. They tried to hold him up. His legs just kept working, and eventually they managed to dislodge the ball from his grip. But it was a good gain of ground there by Damian Dalendi. 19 and a half minutes gone now. 3 points each, Ireland and South Africa at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. And
there's going to be a change as well. Anis Mohammed is going to be joining Otto for the next 20 minutes. I will see you guys for the last 20 minutes. But top start here by both sides. But boy, oh boy, have the Springboks started like a house on fire. Demi Willemse going for the 3 points, far side of the park, about 20 meters in from the far side touchline. And that's where he's going to take this penalty kick from. Referee Amok Shukeli actually signaled an Ireland penalty, if I stand to be corrected. His arm was right.
I'm also a bit confused. Yeah.
And said not rolling away.
So
there was kind of a contradiction in that. But yeah, as soon as we're able to get Anis in, we'll let him in, and he will be joining Otto for the next 20 minutes of the first half. If you want to tweet us, do so at OneWorldSR. And if you want to be part of the commentary team, admin at 1WSR.com. Please support us on Patreon. patreon.com/oneworldsr.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Anis. Oh, and Damien Willemse shanks this one to the right. It's past the right and upright into the in-goal area of Ireland. It looks like they jotted that down. Johnny Sexton has the ball in the middle of the park. Anis, it's so good to see you again, man. As Ireland kick off to the far side of the park, and it's knocked back by Ireland into the hands of one of their back players, and it's a ruck just outside the 22. Ireland once again getting smashed back by the Springboks. Counter ruck, the ball being shoveled back by the Irish blatantly in front of the referee. Another penalty for playing the ball on the ground by Ireland, and this time it's quickly taken by Jaden Hendrikse running forward. The referee calls them back for that penalty. No advantage, he says. And this is a dangerous-looking Springbok team. Anis, the Irish are lucky to be 3-3 at this point, I think. 22 minutes gone just about.
Yeah, Ireland not retreating 10 after Jaden Hendrikse taking it up, so they should have gone 10 meters further up. But as we see Damien Willemse going for the corner, South Africa applying great pressure, tremendous defense, huge. I haven't seen South Africa tackle like this in a long time, and it's fantastic.
No, they are up for this game, and the Irish are feeling it. And now the Springboks taking the line out instead of the 3 points. A few minutes ago, they were thinking about the 3 points. Now they're going for 7. Malcolm Marx with the throw-in on the far side. Etzebeth takes 5 meters from the far side touchline, about 8 meters out from the Irish line. The Springboks are driving forward. The Irish are hanging on, clinging on, trying to spoil this maul. What does the referee say? He's happy so far. The Springboks have the ball available. The maul has collapsed, but Jaden Hendrikse has the ball available there, and he's going to send it into the hands of Kitsoff. 15, 10, yes. 8. 7 meters out from Irish lines now are the Springboks. The ball at the back. Jaden Hendrikse to the near side. They're coming towards the middle of the park now. Driving forward is Pieter Steph du Toit, and the referee says, no, you're off your feet, Springboks. Penalty Ireland. 7 meters from their own line. And that is a relief to the Irish. The Irish have not really had an attack in this game so far. The Springboks playing all the rugby and getting nowhere.
It's business as usual. South Africa just camping in the opposition 22 and not getting any reward for it. It's as Ireland clear their line now. It's going to be a throw into Ireland just in the South African half, I think. But yeah, it's business as usual for South Africa, camping in the opposition 22, not getting any points. It's a bit disheartening.
And those are the games. Yeah, and those are the games when the players start to lose focus. They start to lose confidence. Let's see. Ireland on the far side touchline, 3 meters into their own half, and it's a messy ball for Ireland at the back, gathered up by Damien Willemse as the ball was knocked back by a Springbok, ball forward by the Irish, and it is on the 10-meter line of the Springboks in the middle of the park. Ball goes back into the pocket. High kick here by South Africa coming down on the Irish 10-meter line. The fullback for Ireland tackled by Jesse Kriel just short of the halfway line on the near side of the park. Ball goes to the middle now. Ireland tackled behind the advantage line once again. Conor Murray sending it back to Johnny Sexton. Sends it up into the air on the far side of the park. It's going to come down on the 10-meter line of South Africa. Neatly gathered there by Damien Dalende after a bit of a fumble by Damien Willemse. And Damien Dalende fighting through tackles. 10 meters now from the far side touchline, just inside their own half, are the Springboks, and really bringing it here to Ireland today. They are on fire. The ball goes up into the air, coming down on the far side, gathered by Ireland, perfectly timed tackle by South Africa. The counter ruck is thwarted there by Ireland. Conor Murray is under huge pressure here, just outside the Irish 22. The ball is back into the 22 now in the middle of the park. Surely that was forward. Another ball out to the near side for the left wing, who kicks it down the park. The Springboks are cleaning up behind their own 10-meter line. Jesse Kriel is brought down. There's some Irish players over the ball there, losing their feet now. Good support there by the Springboks. They're outside their own 22. The referee has the advantage to the Springboks. Jaden Hendrikse sends it to the middle of the park, and it goes into the hands of the backline now as Damian Willemse to Damian Dalende. Skips through 1, 2, man hanging onto his shoulders, gets him down. Eben Etzebeth on the far side, over the halfway line, close to the touchline, coming back to the near side, over the halfway line again go the Springboks. Irish bodies trying to hold up the Springbok attackers. The ball pops out on the Irish side, and it's a scrum to Ireland, just inside their own half, just to the far side of the middle of the park. They're 26 and a half minutes gone now, 3 points each in Dublin. Thank you so much for listening. That was breathless stuff by both teams. I don't know, I'm going to make it through the next 40, 60 minutes, man. What the hell is going on?
Couple of things. Yes, the goalie's back on. I've never seen a ref not at least play advantage for a guy jumping on a player's back and putting them in a sleeper hole to bring them down.
Yeah.
Three, Ireland were given the scrum because the referee judged them going forward, because the ball wasn't going to come out, but they got the scrum because but they were going forward. I don't understand that, but Damian Dalende twice got wrapped around the throat in that passage of play. So that's interesting. That's very interesting that nothing was pulled twice. But yeah,
there's a medical break. Yeah, one of the Irish players is unhappy with the shape of his right hand. So he's on the ground, and they're tending to him. And so we're looking at the replay here. And the Springboks really trying to give the ball air, trying to get the ball into the hands of a player in a better position. And that's great to see. I mean, that just warms the cockles of my heart. Oh, he copped a knee. And then gets a bit fell on his hand. That's why, that's the number 12 guy. McCloskey.
Robbie Henshaw. Oh, yeah, McCloskey. Yeah,
Henshaw. Yeah, Henshaw got replaced by McCloskey, and then there's another guy at 23 on the bench. But David's going to be back later. Don't worry, guys. He will fill you in. 26 and a half minutes on the clock in the first half, in Dublin. Well, I'm here in Pretoria, and you are in Gebega, or around there. Where are you?
Yeah.
That's right. Eastern Cape.
Yeah. It looks like it's going to rain, but it's just humid. That's why I'm sweating this much. Wow. But yeah, also the pace of this game is very frantic. It's just end-to-end stuff. The Boks having a position and the territorial advantage, just not coming away with the points that they should have. There's so many great attacking opportunities with the Springboks just camping in the Irish half in their 22. It's going to be interesting to see if they can keep up this pace for the rest of the game, because it's breathless stuff. And Ireland's taking it.
It could be good if the Boks can keep this up. So it's a scrum to Ireland on the 15-meter line, just inside the Irish half on the far side of the field. Ireland, of course, playing right to left. Conor Murray with the throw-in on the near side of the scrum, and solid scrum by both teams. Conor Murray picks it up, goes to the short side. It's a number 14 with the ball going over the halfway line. The Springboks struggling to bring that man to ground. Murray with the recycled ball into the Springboks half now with the second phase go Ireland. They're about 60 meters from the far side of the field. Conor Murray with the up and under just inside the 22. Damian Willemse doesn't call for the mark. He gets going. He steps through 1, 2, 3, 4. Brought down now. Got support. Jaden Hendricks says there. The ball is available. Can the Springboks make this work? Ireland trying to spoil possession, and they're doing a good job of that, falling over the ball. The referee is saying nothing so far. And the Springboks now forming that little tailpipe channel there for the scrum half to put it into the air. It's going to come down just behind the Irish 10-meter line. To the middle of the park they go now, tackled. And it's in the middle of the park now for Conor Murray. Damian Dalende trying to spoil. They go to the near side, into the middle of the park. Ireland go trying to reach the advantage line, and they do. Conor Murray with another recycle. The Irish Spread it wide to the far side of the park. A bit of a fumble there on the outside by O'Mahony in the number 6 jersey, and it's a knock on by the Irish on the far side of the park as they try to outflank the Springbok defence that has been hounding them for the past 28 and a half minutes in the first half. The Irish have not been able to go anywhere. Anybody who has the ball in their hand has got 3 or 4 Springbok defenders to deal with. I don't know how the Springboks are managing this, but the players are just swarming all over the Irish as if they are telepathic. And it was the number 2, in fact, on the far side, on the right wing for the Irish, trying to outflank the Springbok defence, and the pass not going to hand. The defenders were there anyway, and Ireland have to deal with the Springbok scrum 5 meters from the far side touchline, just inside the Irish half. Another 52 seconds to go before I hand back over to Anis, and my electricity is back on.
Just quickly, Otto, there's going to be a sighting later, I think, of this match. A bit of argy-bargy in the previous passage of play.
Yeah, that is understandable. That's a scrappy ball at the back that Jasper Wiese tried to clean up for the Springboks. And I don't know if that move was planned, but the Springboks losing possession to the Irish, just inside the Irish half, on the far side of the field, completely messing up the scrum. As Jasper Wiese tried to pick the ball up at the back of the scrum, he had his hands in between someone's legs, and his other hand on the other side of the same person's leg. So in the physical universe we occupy, he was unable to remove the ball from the scrum with that position. So that was a bad mistake by South Africa. 30 minutes gone. Take us to halftime, Mr. Mohammed.
Thank you. Just found himself a bit isolated there at the back, as Ireland booted it down the field. Throw in just inside, seems like the Irish 10-meter line, as the throw comes in, taken by Ireland as they spread it to midfield. Big hit by Damian Willemse again in midfield. Ireland scramble forward. Ball is presented now in the ruck. South Africa rush up and cut off any forward movement again in midfield, staying pretty much in midfield. Big hit again on the Irish number 3. As the game is getting more and more scrappy, as South Africa are just fronting up so well against this Irish team. Ball available again and cut off again in the midfield. Ireland going backwards, and the box kick to regain momentum for Ireland is gathered by South Africa after a bit of a fumble both ways, as the ball is spread. Tried to kick his charge down, and the Irish hooker has dived over the line. He's claiming the try, but Jesse Kriel was there as well. Maybe he got a hand on the ball first, but I think the referee is going to go upstairs for this, as the Irish players just charged down the kick from Damian Willemse, and it just trundled back as the Irish hooker dove over the line onto the ball with Jesse Kriel right on his heels. Again, frantic passage of play.
I think that will be a try to Ireland. Dan Sheehan, the hooker. The hooker for Ireland.
Try to Ireland.
That was very good defensive pressure. I think he knocked it on before he put it down. There is definitely a knock back by the
knock on. It was off the Irish hand.
Springbok player, or it's a knock on by the number 2 from Ireland, from Dan Sheehan.
Knock on from knock on by Ireland.
So it's a lucky escape there, I think, for the Springboks. 31 minutes gone, 31 and a half minutes gone, 3 points each.
I think that is a defining moment.
I think the Springboks were a bit lucky there in terms of the knock-on. This Irish team is very experienced. I would write them off until you're like 20 points ahead with 3 minutes to go. We're just just looking. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a knock on, I think.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
no weight with
So it's
anywhere
going to be
else
what, a
other
goal
than
line
forward.
dropout because it was a knock inside the goal area. Is that the new rule?
Think?
How does it work? The goal line
I'm not actually
dropout?
sure. I thought it would
Yeah,
be
because usually that would have been a 5-meter scrum or a 22. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so it's 3 points
lots of
all.
discussion going on.
Um, there's a bit of a break in play once again, so you're not missing any rugby. We're just talking nonsense just to keep the airwaves vibing and keep the waves going.
As we're saying about that Hodgie Bodgie and the sighting, the assistant referee ran onto the field in the middle of play to tell them to stop it. So I'm sure there's going to be a sighting. 5-meter scrum is the result. Put into South
Okay.
Africa on their goal line. They're going to have to clear
Okay.
very, very well now.
So that means it was a knock on by Ireland in goal, and it will be a 5-meter scrum to South Africa to defend their line.
Yes.
And yeah, the clock is ticking. 30 coming up onto 32 minutes, 3 points each in Dublin. South Africa versus
Ireland have put Ireland have put South Africa scrum under immense pressure. This time, pushing early, an early shove gets the free kick and allows Damian Willemse to clear the line with no pressure. And that is a let for South Africa. Oh, there is pressure. I didn't know that you're allowed to. Yeah, Damian Willemse was making the argument he was back 10.
No, but you can't move on a free kick or a penalty until the ball has been kicked by the. Yeah.
That is interesting. So that's going to be in Rassi Erasmus's report. That's going to get leaked on YouTube during the week. As the throw, which is not straight, in my opinion, is through Ireland, and they break the South African line finally. And there is a ruck which is cleaned up by the number 8, a bit of scrappy ball, and they rumble forward with lots of clearing off their feet, Ireland, and the South Africans are scrambling in defense to bring some continuity and some structure to their defensive line as they are on their 5-meter line now, marshalling the defense in the back line. Ireland get position again, passing it between the forwards, and they're just running into a brick wall, not making any ground. As it now goes, a scrappy pass to the centers at the back, and Ireland are still about 7-8 meters out, and they keep trying to rumble forward, but just running into a brick wall. South Africa not committing a lot of players to the breakdown, getting behind the advantage line of South Africa, and another solid line of defense by the Springboks. Ireland just breaking it like a wave breaking against the wall. And now Stephen Kitsoff over the ball, but off his feet, having to release. Ireland do have an overlap, but they can't take advantage of it. They're now about a couple of meter inside the South African 22. The ref has given them advantage. They have now broken the South African line, but they're still within the 22. South Africa all over the ball, and there is now, what's the call? The referee has stopped. Penalty to Ireland.
Yeah, you're saying that last move, the last movement there, the last ruck there, the Springboks did get the advantage, but he was always playing advantage for Ireland, about 7 meters outside the Springbok try line. And it was that man, Conor Murray, sparking things for Ireland. And the Irish eventually getting over the advantage line. And yeah, we're seeing some replays here of the defensive effort by the South Africans.
Just foul play.
Here's the graphic on the screen. So it was for a no-arms tackle by Frans Malherbe. That's why Ireland have the penalty.
With the Jager seems to be in a spot of bother. Also, a makeshift sling brought in as Franco Mostert makes his way on as the replacement. So the South African forwards losing a bit of height, but maybe getting a bit more of hand skills in that forward pack, as we see an Irish player also going a bit gingerly off of the field. We have the Irish replacement. Just waiting for the names to pop up, and that would be
Jameson Gibson Park. Jameson Gibson Park is on the field for Conor Murray, and he will replace Conor Murray as the scrum half for Ireland. The number 21.
Yes, this one is slotted
from
over,
Leinster.
and Ireland take the lead 6-3. Frantic play. South Africa playing at a high pace. Ireland just managing to cope. A couple of unforced errors by the Springboks, and I think the pace of the game is starting to get to them. Still not quite sure
we can
about
see
our play.
We can see a replay here. Conor Murray was running full tilt, and before he got tackled, he just collapsed in the stride of running as Ireland kick off to the near side.
This one high into the air, hanging into the Irish 22, where it is gathered by Ireland, and it is cleared very well to just inside the Springbok half. Throw in to South Africa with 4 minutes left in this half. It's going to be insane. Can South Africa come away with some points with this visit to the Irish half? A bit of a powwow with the South African forwards, as Stephen Kitsoff gives the message to the Springbok hooker, and we are about to see the move come forward. And the first move is Franco Moster. He gets the ball, and the ruck is immediately brought down. Penalty advantage to the box as Jaden Hendrickse clears the line, and it is Pieter-Steph du Toit who goes to ground now as Jaden Hendrickse gets the ball, and it is dabbed through by Willemse, and Jesse Kriel breaks a couple of tackles after a grubber kick by Willemse, and another grubber through by Jaden Hendrickse, and it is cleared by the Irish wing in defense, 5 meters out from the Irish half, and there will be they're going back for the penalty. I would have taken that line out.
Yeah,
I would have taken
Robert.
that line out.
Let's see if I can swing this one. Robert Balakoon, is that how you say it? From Leinster.
Yeah.
His third cap today. He's the number 14 for Ireland, and he was on the end of that movement there for the Irish trying to defend the kicks by South Africa. It is inevitable that the Irish need to send up defenders into the line when the Springboks are just hammering away at it. And very blatant penalty there by Ireland in that previous line out, also cutting out the legs of the man going up for the ball there. So punished there by the referee. Damian Willemse has the ball, and it's 38 minutes on the clock. 6 points to 3, Ireland lead.
Line out to South Africa, about 7 meters out from the Irish line. What we're going to see now is we're going to see a driving maul attempted behind the box.
Yes.
So looking
yes.
for 7.
Here we go.
Predictable but effective.
Yes.
We all know it's coming. Everyone knows it's coming. Will the Irish?
Let's see what the Irish do.
Oh, they contested the ball, and the ball is knocked back, and they bring it down just outside. Still in play. They brought it down inside play still, so Ireland can still clear.
Oh, that ball almost being jotted down.
Ball line, and it is cleared to just inside the Irish 22. I think
the Irish are fighting back. The Irish are fighting back. They're not going to go down without a fight, that's for sure. But it's a bit getting thwarted there by Ireland. That was either Tyg Byrne or James Ryan, I think, that went up for that ball against Eben Etzebeth and managed to spoil it for the Springboks. That was an excellent defensive line. Our time is stopped now. There's an injury to an Irish prop. Yep, it's almost the end of the first half.
rinse and repeat, and the Irish substitute.
I think so too. I think the Boks are doing well. They're looking good. They're really looking good, and they just need to finish it off. If this is the attitude that they're going to have, during the rest of this tour, it's going to be very exciting rugby to watch. And I think that South Africa still have it in them to beat the Irish here by 6 points. That was my prediction. It's going to be a tough match. It's a close match. I think the Boks can do it. So there's my flag hammered to the wall.
They're going to have to play this way, high octane, high intensity. But like we were saying, can they hold it up for 40 minutes? For 80 minutes, sorry. It's going to be interesting.
Another 41 or 42 to go. Yeah,
remember,
that's what they need to do. Yeah.
So we might be seeing the beginnings of the South African blueprint on this tour. Gonna be interesting.
Most definitely. Okay, rugby is back on. It's a penalty to Ireland. And oh no, excuse me. Yeah, so we had the penalty. Marks is throwing in on the near side touchline, just outside the Irish 22.
There we go. It's fit this time. Siakolisi breaks away from the back of the maul, bounces one defender. Arendse in the scrum off position as we get the clearance now. And South Africa rumble forward again. Jaden Hendrikse. I think there's advantage to South Africa again. Yes, there is penalty advantage. And Damien Delende in midfield, chinking and dancing his way through the midfield. Again taken around the neck from an Irish player. Nothing from the referee as we do get the penalty finally. Jaden Hendrikse telling everyone, calm. There are 2 seconds left in this half. There's a bit of argy-bargy, yeah? Damien Delende not happy with being choked out again. Will South Africa go for the 3 points?
They've got to go for 3. Yeah. They've got to go for 3 here.
Yeah.
And let's see what they decide. Damien Delende causing big problems for Ireland's midfield. They are resorting to foul tactics to try and neutralize him. He just needs to calm down and keep doing what he's doing because he's causing big problems for the defense there in the Irish midfield. It's the number 5 for Ireland. It's James Ryan getting some attention as the Springboks did elect to take the 3 points. And Cheslin Colby will line it up. It's right in front of the poles. Give the man a little bit of confidence. Let him get ready to be the backup kicker for the World Cup. It's smack bang in front. I mean, come on. If you can't kick that, you shouldn't be playing rugby, no?
No, man. 15 meters out.
15 meters out. Cheslin Colby with the penalty kick to level the score at 6 points each at the halfway mark of the test match between Ireland and South Africa in Dublin. And Cheslin Colby sails it through, shaving the right hand upright there, making my heart stop in my chest for about a millisecond. But it's 6 points all in Dublin. All is well. That ends well. They're going to start at level scores in the second 40. That was a proper test match, Anis.
That was high-octane rugby. Ireland doing well to survive.
Yes.
Let's be honest. Ireland doing very well to survive that half.
What do South Africa need to do to just put the finishing touches? Just put the icing on the cake. Just get the 7 points when you visit the 22. That's how are we going to do that, man?
It's just don't lose hope. Run through the phases. It's going to break eventually. And I think that's where South Africa's the Springbok team really struggles is they lose patience. And that's where us fans as well, we lose patience. Rumble forward, keep possession. Ireland will make a mistake. They will give away a penalty. But you got to keep possession. Eventually, a gap will open up. And this is a big thing with early on in the first half, where Cheslin Colby was joining the line early and looking for work. Cheslin Colby should be coming in and hitting that line at pace and breaking that line, not joining the back line as the fullback, not playing as a wing. So he, in my opinion, he should be coming in at pace, sort of in a Andre Hubert sort of role, where he come in at weird angles and just run straight through a line. And that's what I want to see from Cheslin Colby on attack in the second half.
Yeah, I mean that guy just needs a half a meter either way of space.
Yeah,
He doesn't need much. If you can just put him in a position where he's got half a chance, he's going to make the opposition pay. And yeah, that's an interesting discussion, because if you're playing him in that position, then you've got to have a plan to bring him into the game. You can't pick Cheslin Colby at 15 and then play a 10-man rugby.
Exactly. Yeah.
No.
You gotta have that. You gotta have that one set move where it's him coming in at full tilt, and you just pop the ball to him, and he's straight through. The South African defense has been unbelievable in this half. Tackles flying in, and big tackles too. Makazola Mapimpi on defense in this game has been a weapon, absolute weapon.
It's very tough for the Irish to get anything going at this point. So it's a real attrition. The Irish obviously have their plans, but the Springboks have just dictated what happens on the field so far. So I'm happy. And then it's half time, so we're going to take a bit of a break. When we come back, Sam Jam on Facebook says, "Thank you for the commentary. You rock, guys." Yeah, see, Anis, you're not that bad, eh?
I'm trying.
Yeah. Thanks for the support. Right. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. We do appreciate it. It's the best way for you to support us. We're doing this for fun, but we do have aspirations to buy rights, to go to the stadiums, to bring radio commentary back in a big way in South Africa. So if you would like to be part of the commentary team, you can get in touch. Send your details to admin@1wsr.com. You can get in touch with us there as well if you want to sponsor us or do some advertising on our platforms. We've got podcasts, we've got all kinds of live broadcasts and other partners that we work with. So very much appreciating all of you listening, and we love you all. And we will be playing a little bit of the Full Quota podcast.
Fantastic podcast.
No, the Cheap Seats. The Cheap Seats.
Oh.
Sorry, the Cheap Seats podcast, the soccer one. It's an old one, an oldie but a goodie. Yeah, they're talking about Kylian Mbappe. So that was that one. There's new episodes on our YouTube channel. Follow us there. Let us know what you think on YouTube and Facebook. You can comment, and that pops up here right in my face. So that'll be appreciated. And thank you for listening. And we'll be back in about 8 or 9 minutes.
Bye, everyone.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Cheap Seats. This is your weekly Premier League show. My name is Mpho. I've got Dean, I've got AB. We talk all things happening in the Premier League. This week was a little bit of a slow week because Nottingham Forest didn't fire their coach. They actually gave him an extension, and then they decided to fire the scout and everyone else. So it was a little bit weird, but they brought 22 players in, so that's another story. But I think the big story that has Premier League situation or Premier League links to it is the Kylian Mbappe story. So I thought we'd lead with that. But we're also going to talk about Liverpool and how this derby with Manchester City has now become more of a damn squib. You know, from one of the most sought-after games in the world to being a, oh Lord, how much are they going to catch type of game? But we're going to talk about that later on. Before we continue, remember this show is sponsored by Classic Shirts ZA. And this week's shirt of the week, to remind you that we're going into the World Cup. We got a team that's hoping to be world champions once more. Brazil's 2022 World Cup kit. The blue one looks like a lizard. But the home one I like the little, the little collar there, the victory collar for all you golfers, the Tiger Woods collar. And yeah, look, I don't know if the Sellers are going to win the World Cup, but they'll be looking pretty good. Jens, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, is that Jaguar print on the blue one?
Yes.
Is that what it's supposed to be? I mean, it's interesting, but I mean, you can't go wrong with a classic yellow, green trim Brazil kit. Like, it's just, that is the GOAT. So, be interesting.
Look,
it'll be interesting
the
to see
question is-
Richarlison in it, my boy, because now
No.
I can support Brazil.
Well, the question is whether Martinelli or Antony are going to be wearing it. So I think with Brazil's World Cup selections, it's going to probably come down to whether Martinelli or Antony are going to go to the World Cup. So it's going to be dependent on how it happens. Obviously, I don't want the other Gabriel to go our centre back. I think he'd rather just chill on the beach in Dubai. But
I
hey,
hope they
it's the
all
World
go
Cup.
to Brazil.
Do you know what the worst?
worst?
Do you know what the worst thing about this week was, right? Trent got injured in the derby that Arsenal won, top of the log, well done. Woohoo. But the other thing was Reece James also got injured. And then all of a sudden, everyone's like, who's going to start at right back for England? And I was like, don't say it.
Obviously,
Ben White.
my boy.
Oh.
That'll be, yeah, he plays well on the right, though, to be fair. So
He's gotten better.
Yeah.
Like at the start of the season, he didn't want to. He was so afraid to go around and help Saka like with those little passes around behind him to kind of stretch the defense. But he's look.
He's
We're
getting
gonna
there.
talk about FPL, but look, he's a good FPL thing, and he's pushed Tomiyasu to the left. So that's another story for another day.
Well, guys, it must be so nice to like have international players in your team.
Well, you do. Casemiro, you've got Fred. You're benching them. You've
Ronaldo,
got
all the
Mr.
clan.
700. Okay, cool. Let's get into it. This week we woke up on Monday or sometime on Monday, we were at work and we found out that Kylian Mbappe told Paris Saint-Germain that actually, I want out. This is 6 months after him signing up to be their general manager. I don't know, player manager type of vibe. And supposedly they didn't promise him, they didn't fulfill the promises that he done. And I'm like, but dude, it's not even 6 months yet. It's like 3. And you're wanting out. So he wants out. So now this is like the Kevin Durant trade in the NBA. When a player like this goes, you now try to figure out how the hell you're going to get him. Doesn't matter who you are, even if you're Kaiser Chiefs, you need to figure out a package for Kylian Mbappe to bring him here to South Africa. But I was thinking, wait, hold up. But the Premier League is the richest league in the world. He's watching Erling Haaland tear it up in this league, and he must be like, ooh, that's another Farmers League. Maybe I should go and join. So my question to you guys is, what do you do? So in the top 6, he can fit anywhere. But which is the most likely club in the top 6 to go to Paris and be like, here's a package for you, Kylian, come over?
I mean, that is United all over.
No.
All over. That is. Let's get the fans back. Let's do what we need. Mbappe, our boy. He's probably going to come out and say, I've supported United since I was young, and become one of their players. But I also heard that there's rumors of like a Salah swap with Liverpool, which maybe, but realistically, for me, I think everyone looks at his PSG situation and goes, I don't want someone like that in my changing room.
But Dean, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? Regardless of whether this is a guy, I think he's 24 or 20. I don't know how old he is. Like 23. Still a young guy. He may be a prima donna, but he can help you compete in this league with. And so I was sitting there going, wait, there's a dumpster fire team. There's a team that can handle this type of player. And to me, if Todd Bowley isn't in Paris right now, trying to sell Christian Pulisic to PSG, it's a problem. Because here's the thing, right? Mbappe doesn't want to play the number 9. He wants to play the 10, right? So you can have Aubameyang up front. You can have Mbappe in the middle. You can even send Kai Havertz to Paris. That's where dreams go to die. Kai Havertz hasn't done well. Send him to Paris, you know? No, but this makes because Chelsea are in a situation where they're trying to go young, so try get rid of the oldies. You can even send Thiago Silva back. I'm sure they'd take him. And so for me, like I look, I'd love him at Arsenal, but I don't want to break up, as you say, Dean. I don't want to break up that whole thing that Arteta's got.
Aubameyang says Arteta can't handle big personalities, so
that's one of the reasons why I don't want him there. But if he ever said, I want to go to Arsenal, best believe I am selling my future. Well, I'm giving them Martinelli and I'm bringing Mbappe in with a whole lot of cash. But I look at Chelsea and I'm like, because I look at Man City, I'm like, okay, Man City, they don't need to be too desperate because they've got this guy, this robot.
You've already got one of the two next greatest players that we're going to see. So,
but it's for me, AB, it's Chelsea. It's Manchester United, and to a certain extent, if Tottenham could do it, I would do it.
I don't think he doesn't. He won't come to Tottenham. There's been jokes where people have said, "Oh, Mbappe, you want to go to Tottenham?" and he's come out and said, "Thanks, but no thanks." So I don't want a player at my club that is already saying I'm above you before he's probably even knows how to get to the stadium. So if Tottenham make that move, no thanks. But I hear what you're saying. I think the Chelsea move probably makes a whole lot more sense now that you talk about it with the Todd Boehly situation. But I also think Newcastle could be, well, I know a lot of people are saying Newcastle because of the money that they have to sort of splash at someone like that. But whether they will or can, I don't know. I don't think so.
No, but okay. So, AB, if you look at Liverpool, if you look at Mbappe, right? Mbappe needs a place to kind of sit until Real Madrid say, we've got the money to bring you on, right? Wouldn't a Newcastle be a good enough option? Because I know obviously you can't go for the top six, but Newcastle will pay him his ridiculous wages. Newcastle will make like it's.
Hello, and welcome back. Yes, it's the start of the second half, just about. And it is Ireland versus South Africa from Dublin in Ireland. And it is the players running up onto the field right now on my screen. And Anis, will you take us through the first 10 minutes and tell us what you thought, what South Africa need to do to get past this? It's 6 points each, 40 minutes to go.
They just need to be clinical and finish and stay on it and keep piling the pressure on Ireland. Ireland seeming to want to play spoiling rugby. Not again. Hopefully, the ball carriers need to work in pods, not be isolated. I know it's easier said than done. But South Africa have to keep their structure, keep on just pounding away at this Irish team, make them make the tackles. As we do see that there is a change at prop for Ireland. I think Otto, you will be able to tell us who it is as the kickoff is being set up. Springboks now playing from right to left. Stamian Willemse is set to get things underway, and he hoofs this one just inside the Irish 22, where it is gathered, and the Irish are going to attempt to clear now. Bit of a messy ball. South Africa contesting well. Ireland with the box kick, not going for touch, doesn't get a lot of distance, and South Africa regather just outside the Irish 22. Jaden Hendrickse now has the ball as South Africa rumble forward and getting quick ball now to the midfield. The ball is now again with South Africa. Again, this is happening so fast. I apologize, as Willemse is a first receiver. Now, Jaden Hendrickse changing the direction, and South Africa rumbling back up midfield. Like I said, just keep going as Willemse goes into the pocket, puts this one up into the air. Cross kick as it is contested, and it is well taken by Pieter-Steph du Toit, but adjudged to go be knocked on, which is an interesting call. as Jesse Kriel comes up with the ball. However, scrum down to Ireland. Peter Steph Toy got that ball, which was hanging in the air, and attempted to pop it back. However, it is judged to be a knock on. Still not sure. There it is. And it's gone backwards.
I don't see a knock on there. I don't see a knock on there. The referees are in control, and they seem to think that the Springboks knocked it on. So Jamison Gibson Park will put the ball into the scrum for Ireland. And 6 points all, 42 minutes gone, far side of the park.
As the scrum is set and the ball is in, and South Africa immediately scrumming Ireland to pieces, and no advantage. But no, scrum down to Ireland.
Yeah, another knock on by the box, says the referee. Yes, and that will be worrying signs for Ireland. They definitely have to pull up their socks, because if they do this again, South Africa will get the scrum penalty. The referee let that one go because the ball was available at the back for the Irish, and they were under severe pressure. And as the Springboks swamped Jamison Gibson Park there, getting some harassment by Jaden Hendrikse and Jasper Wiese behind the scrum, and Siya Kolisi. So that was a lucky escape there for the Irish, I would say. Let's see if they can hold up a little bit better.
Belhan on for furlough as the hit is made, and it's penalty to Ireland for collapsing the scrum.
Early shove. Yeah, early shove. Yeah.
That is interesting. So the scrum hit and went down. South Africa just to collapse it. While they in the ascendancy always have to see the situation that the game is in. As Ireland clear their line now, booting this one out just outside, in between the South Africa 10 meter and 22. Oh, yeah, okay. I can see why. We see
a bit of hinging.
Looking like he was pulling down, not getting a proper grip on the Irish prop. As the line out is now just 8 meters from the South African 22, and this one is overthrown. But it seems like a plan and move, and big hits again by the South Africans in midfield, as there is a dart through the midfield by the Irish number 23, and now Irish player down in back play. But however, the Irish just outside the South African 22, going the short side, and cleared up by the South Africans. And again, now the Irish are now pounding against that South African wall, and they get quick ball running through, and just inside the South African 22 now, getting quick ball again, holes forming in the South African defensive line. Ireland midfield. Oh, bit of a forward pass there, Mr. F, as the ball is available for Ireland again, and the looping overhead pass. However, South Africa on top of that one read very well within the tram lines of the inside the South African 22. Lots of tackles coming now from South Africa, as the Irish are pounding their way forward. And there is a penalty advantage, as the Irish scrum off just passed the ball into a South African, and it is adjudged offside. And that will be a penalty to Ireland, just off of the left-hand upright, about 7 meters away. So on the angle, about 15, 20 meters. That was a very, very well-milked penalty from Ireland, if you're thinking about it. But great cover defense by the South Africans out wide.
The South African player just in the way of the scrum off there.
Oh,
and
that's
like you say, expertly milked there by Ireland.
Oh, that was
seeing some replays here of some ferocious tackling by the Springboks, sending the Irish players going in every which way, not in the direction that they intended, and that's good to see. That's solid defense there by the Bokke, And we say thank you to Drika van der Linden. She says,
Drika.
dankie. Victor Gerike also saying thank you. And Ella van Sail, dankie julle, dankie vir julle ook, hoor. Thank you very much for your support. We do appreciate every single one of you listening and watching along with us. On YouTube and Facebook, you can send your comments in. You are the third commentator. You can tell us what you think about the game. Where are you listening from? Who do you think is going to win? I've got Box by 6 still, as Johnny Sexton sends this penalty kick over the far side touchline, and the assistant referee has his flag up at about 7 meters out from the Springbok try line on the far side of the field. Mr. Anis Mohammed, 45 minutes gone in this match. 35 minutes to go. Frans Malherbe getting replaced by Vincent Koch.
Yes, we
6 points, 6 points each. Let's go.
As the lineout is coming in now, Ireland finally joined the line, and they are going for the driving maul. South Africa on top of it, but driving it sideways. That ball must be out and well driven out by the box. However,
Ireland are claiming the try. Yes. The Irish players think they've got it down, as the maul was pummeled over the far side touchline by South Africa. Ireland think they managed to drop it down inside the field of play beyond the goal line. Let's see the replays. This is going to be interesting. That was a power move by both teams. South Africa frantically shepherding Ireland over the try line.
Whoa!
And we see the ball being grounded by the Irish player at the back of the maul. And I would give that, I think.
Yep.
I don't think that ball touched the try line. I think that's a try to Ireland. Let's see what they say.
No, out. No.
Player's feet was inside. That player that grounded the ball is the one that's inside the field of play. His teammates are over the line, but he is not. His knee goes down. His hand goes down on top of the ball. The ball is not touching the try line when he grounds it at the back of the maul. The flag is no longer a factor. The flag is out of play. Yeah, you can lick the flag while you score a try. It's fine. Yeah, they're looking at the man's feet and his knees now at the back of the ruck, and I think that was good work by Ireland, as South Africa tried to just shove the Irish maul over the try line as a defensive tactic, and it's been given. So it's 11 points to 6 to Ireland in Dublin. They lead by 5 with a kick to come, and they are 48 minutes played. 46 minutes played in the match so far. 11 points to 6 to Ireland. Kick to come.
South Africa getting mauled for a try. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how South Africa fight back. But I think there's going to be a huge fight back. South Africa just have to finish. The Boks just have to finish. They have had Ireland under the pump for the majority of that first half. Ireland surviving and coming back very, very well.
So Tolani Dave Mandi says, I think Ireland will win it 16-15. So he thinks that Ireland will convert this try and score another penalty, and then South Africa are going to get 9 more points to get that score, 16-15. As we wait for Johnny Sexton to line this kick up from the far side of the field with the right foot. Very difficult kick. Right on the touchline.
Got to get his hips right to get the curve.
He's a very experienced player. He's gonna nail this one, man. This guy's good.
Taking a breath. Wusa, he's fine. Grinding out the crowd is making it.
He pulled it.
And he's shanked it.
He pulled it to the left.
He's pulled this one to the left. He has missed the conversion. South Africa 5 points behind now. Oh,
Okay,
will
so
that
the
be
score
cost?
now 11 points to 6. And we do apologize, Tolani. We know our live score that's on the visual feed is a bit behind. And let's go, Mr. Anis Mohammed.
This one is launched into the South African, into the Irish air, and it is taken inside the Irish 22 with a little bit of obstruction from a couple of the Irish forwards, but wherever that may be, as the box regather the clearance, Cheslin Colby given some space, and he makes it over the halfway line as the back line is now starting to play, and there is a bit of a hodgy-bodgy on the ground as South Africa regather possession. Jaden Hendrickson now to Arendse in the pocket, and he launches this one high into the Irish air, and it is taken by great take by Ireland to regather possession as the Irish try to clear their line now, trying to run themselves out of their own half. As we wait, slow ball for Ireland now. Box kick coming as it is done and does not find touch. Willemse jinking on the just inside the near side touchline as the ball is now knocked loose, and a huge tackle, but not for much gain as the Irish regather the ball forward pass there, not picked up by the officials, and Ireland are running, and they might score a try to the left wing, and Ireland are over for the second try of the match, and South Africa, things just falling apart, the wheels coming off of the bus, and Ireland are over again. 16-6 is the score. We're after 49 minutes with a conversion to come, Otto.
That is just the luck of the Irish. They're just taking every opportunity that they can get, and very nice work by all 15 Irish players. The ball not being looked after by the Springboks. They lose possession just outside their own 22, and Ireland managed to spread the ball wide and getting it through the hands and just beating South Africa's transition from attack to defense. Can't keep the right wing, the left wing out there. That is a certain Mr. Mac Hansen, if I'm not mistaken, who is over in the corner for Ireland, and they will lead South Africa 16 points to 6. It's another wide try, and so it's going to be another difficult conversion for Johnny Sexton, but he's done this before. Very experienced man, of course, and just about 51 minutes gone. Ireland 16 points, South Africa 6, with a kick to come by Johnny Sexton to add the extra 2. He's pulling in the Dublin air through his nostrils, stepping forward now. He strikes it with his right foot, and this time it's closer to the left hand upright, but it's still off to the left. And it's another missed penalty by Johnny Sexton, another difficult kick, it must be said, and very sloppy play by South Africa. They let that ball go on attack, outside, behind their ruck, and Ireland saying, thank you very much. We'll have some of that. And it is the number 11 who just needs to stroll through and dive over. The kickoff by South Africa deep into the Irish 22 on the far side, met with solid defense. Yes. Ireland, Jameson Gibson Park sends it out to Johnny Sexton with the left foot, sends it high into the air, and it's going to be a South African putting to the line out just outside the Irish 22. It was a bit of a shanked kick. It wasn't Johnny Sexton. I think that was their number 15, Hugo somebody. And we see Faf de Klerk on the field now in place of Hendrickse. Kwagga Smith is on, and it looks like he replaced Jasper Wiese. So Malcolm Marks with the throw to Eben Etzebeth at the front, trying to set the ball, but there's a knock-on by South Africa. The Irish have the knock-on advantage. They recycle the ball behind their own 22. It's going through the hands into the middle of the park. Some missed tackles by South Africa as the number 15 takes it up past the 22-meter line of the Irish inside the middle of the park. as Jameson Gibson Park gets into the hands of his forwards. South Africa have regathered possession. The referee says, play on. Advantage was over for the knock. Yes, Franco Moster takes it in. And it's Peter Steph du Toit, Damian Willemse into the middle of the park. Jesse Kriel, forward pass to Siya Kolisi. And it will be a scrum to Ireland just inside the Irish 22, just to the near side of the middle of the park there. 52 and a half minutes gone, just about. Ireland 16, South Africa 6.
If he called it for the forward pass and not the knockout, I've been incensed if I was the box.
It was a really bad forward pass by Jesse Kriel, and it must be said as well that Siya Kolisi overran the support line a little bit there. It's a sloppy play there. It would have been on if they had managed to make that move stick. South Africa are looking to do that kind of thing. They're looking to keep the ball alive off the ground. They're trying to keep the ball in the air and playing rugby. It's just not clicking for them. It's all going Ireland's way. As now Willie Leroux is in place of Kurtley Arendse, who was playing number 14. We'll see where Willie slots in. No doubt there will be some positional changes. Good scrum, but this time by Ireland, and they get the penalty. Jameson Gibson Park fakes the quick take, but it was an excellent scrum this time by the Irish, and they get the penalty inside their own 22. Another spoiled opportunity, another visit to the 22 with no points for the Springboks, and that will be worrying to the coaching staff. They need to button up these little things. The kick goes to the near side touchline. Well inside there goes Johnny Sexton, and the lineout will be set for Ireland on the Springbok 10-meter line with
I do not understand
25 minutes to go. No, 25 minutes to go in this match. 55 minutes played now.
I do not understand that the Irish did not take the hit, did not take the hit, and didn't take the pressure that the Springboks were putting on South Africa. The South African front row demolished Ireland there, and the referees, the judge, South Africa collapsing the scrum. It is mind-boggling, as we do get an advantage for something.
Yeah, it was a throw-in by Ireland. And then there was, I think, an illegal clean-out by one of the Irish players because Ireland were on the front foot. They had managed to recycle the ball from that collapsed maul at the line-out. And now they are looking at a replay, and they will try and see. They're looking at a replay of the previous try, in fact, at the moment. Yeah. The try by Mr. Hansen, number 11.
This doesn't help us with what just happened.
No, it doesn't help us at all with what just happened. So we're waiting for that. So the clock is stopped. The clock is stopped at 55 minutes, and it's still Ireland 16 and South Africa 6. I think they're going to look at some foul play here at the last ruck, because Ireland had the advantage. They were on the front foot, and then the referee blew a penalty to South Africa. So we're going to wait and see what the officials have to say.
We're just seeing a stat now. Ruck speed, Ireland, 1 to 3 seconds. 1 to 3 seconds. Ruck speed, 73% of their ball is super quick, between 1 and 3 seconds. Compared to 69% for South Africa. So yeah, it's just showing that Ireland's actually went in.
It's not far off. It's not far off, right? Both teams are trying to quicken up the pace. Okay, so now for some reason it's a scrum to South Africa. Yeah. On the halfway line, just about on the 10-meter line of South Africa. Take it away, Anis.
Here we go. South Africa hit, and the scrum is stable. This time, Kwagga Smith from the back breaks the line and tries to go through. And de Klerk now cleaning out, trying to get quick ball, but slowing things down. Probably going to go for a box kick. He's lining up. Yep, taking his time. Foot is out, and box kick. It goes high into the Irish air, driving South Africa forward, and it is a net gain for South Africa, and South Africa regain possession, and quick ball from de Klerk, and a wayward pass to midfield, and Ireland regather, but the whistle has blown. There's a knock on.
Lucky escape there for South Africa. That was not very neat.
It's the knock on from the original up and under from Faf de Klerk. Did not hear anyone call advantage. Ooh.
That would have been an Irish knock on.
Yeah, an Irish knock on.
Yeah.
So South Africa have the feet to the scrum.
57 minutes gone. 16 points to 6. Ireland lead in Dublin. Thank you so much, everybody listening here. I'm going to leave you in 4 minutes. You're gonna carry on with the play-by-play for the next 2 minutes.
Okay.
3-4 minutes, and then it will be. Here comes Ox and Che, Ritsecho for Dichwe and Che, Bongi and Bonambi. And so the South African front row is replaced, and let's see if Mr. Nche can have a say.
As will he just mutilate some Irish front row here and someone's career, as South African front rows love to do. Fuck the Klerk now, and the ball is in, and immediately the Irish scrum is dominated.
Take that.
Dominated by this new front row. Is he going to stick out his tongue? Stick out your tongue. Yeah, no, he doesn't. We didn't get a front row look at Bongi, as this one from Arendse is now trying to clear the line and putting South Africa into the Irish 22 with the throw-in. Oh, the front row just dominated Ireland. Had no answer.
That was beautiful. The tight head prop of Ireland just popping out. And South Africa have the throw on the Irish 22.
Nambi as the throw, as the maul is formed, and South Africa will attempt to rumble forward as Ireland coming in from the side, but nothing doing from the ref. The maul has stopped and is peeling around, and the referee is happy with the sack, and it is now advantage to Ireland, and it's a scrum down to Ireland. We're going to see the first defensive scrum for this new South African front row.
Yeah, it's still an attacking position on the field, but they will see what they can do without having the pudding. This new front row. And I agree with you, Anis. I don't see why the referee allowed the Irish to spoil that more, but well done to them. They got it done. You can see the sly smiles there on the faces of the coaches. They must have spotted something that the referees don't look for. So well done to them once again. So 10 points, and I'm going to hand over to Mr. David Mitchley. You guys, you need to get us 11 points in 20 minutes. Do you think you can do that?
As
yeah, go for it.
Oh, big scrum again by the box. And penalty to Ireland. I'm not sure why.
Wheeling
Wheeling
the scrum. That's why.
That's not fair. That Irish front row is not taking the hit, not taking the pressure, and South Africa get penalized. A very interesting call again. But it is what it is. As Dave, how are you doing?
Right in yourself, sir.
I'm good. Just a bit breathless from this frantic pace. Not used to seeing South Africa playing this quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw shades of it at various points of the Rugby Championship, in particular against Australia in their second game, came out absolute flying. But boy, oh boy, have the Springboks shifted a gear here as we clock over the hour mark. Quick throw to Ireland. It's Messi at the back, and South Africa clean up. Good bit of work from the Springboks. De Klerk through to Peter Steff, runs into two defenders and doesn't have immediate support. Thankfully, Siya Kolisi's there. Over the top goes De Klerk. He finds the replacement prop for South Africa and loses it there. Does Vincent Koch. And so now Ireland have the ball inside their own 22. Carry now from Caelan Doris. High hanging kick, and it's swirling. It may even go backwards here from Conor Murray. Rather, Jamison Gibson Park. South Africa now with the ball on the Irish 22. De Klerk. Through their hands it goes. Willemse found his man. Koch. Now in support with De Klerk right at the back. Going to the far side of the park. Jesse Creel cuts inside. Looking for space, not yet finding it. Sheldon Colby in support there with him. And Etzebeth in the middle of the park. Good bit of work from the Springboks. Willemse out wide to Mapimpi, but he runs into a couple of blue shirts and is immediately swarmed. It's good support there from Damien Jalende. Turnover ball from the Irish. Not good enough, apparently. Oh, and Targ Byrne decided he wanted to take that ball to boot. As actually do that bad. Good bit of work from Cheslin Colby to clean up from the tackle there from Willemse. Bongi Manami in support. Can South Africa retain possession here? It's been poor for parts from the Springboks, and they'll want to get better at it. And Che to Creel. Kicked through now, and there's a knockback here from Ireland's fullback Keenan. Thumps this straight in between two South African defenders, and now it's Willemse with an opportunity to go over halfway. Steps one man and steps another. Quick bit of work there from Faf de Klerk. Hangs it and gets it late there to Peter Steff. Is there anybody there to support? Backwards there from de Klerk from the back of the ruck. Mbonambi into contact.
Nice.
De Klerk trying to play a bit of hide and seek, and the Irish have not been good enough in terms of rolling away. Pick and go from the South Africans. Over the 22-meter line goes Kwagga Smith. Road work there in the hands of an oxen chair with Willie Leroux, rather, having to do some work out there, and it looks like there may be a knock-on as that pass goes out wide to Mapimpi. South Africa with an opportunity to shift this game, Anis, and white line fever maybe, as Mapimpi's covered in blood. Maybe it's not his own.
No. Oh, might not be his own. Looks like a little bit
could
of a
be
nick
Targ Burns again.
But just Ireland not back 10 at all. So South Africa should have returned, but they're just showing the replays of Kwagga Smith just running over Irish defenders like they're not even there. White line fever, as you say. Oh, just
Damien Willemse not happy with that pass. That's his reason for knocking that ball on. But Dion Fourie is now on the park in place of Peter Steff du Toit. Multi-generational Springbok family, that from the du Toits, the Steff du Toits. But great game from him. 8 carries, 23 meters made, 9 tackles, and 2 line-out wins. Solid performance from him today.
Yeah, that's a solid performance from him, but that's normally his work rate's a lot higher. It is Mapimpi's head. Got a bit of a nick on the top of his head. He's going to have to wear a scrum cap. Oh, ruins the aesthetic. But yeah,
maybe Cheslin Colby might wear one because he was spotted recently in a club game not wearing one. Rob Herring, the Ulster man, comes onto the park. He replaces Dan Sheehan. Hooker swap there for Ireland. 63.5 minutes gone. Just a bit of a delay here as Mapimpi presumably gets maybe a bit of Vaseline for his cut so that it can graft. Maybe that's the way to go. Or he just gets a simple Band-Aid.
No, man. He's got to be a big mercurochrome. Like we used to get.
or electrical tape. Maybe duct tape.
Oh, the things we used to do to kids as first aiders. No. Mercure, Crow, fries, balsam. Don't worry, you'll be fine.
Sure. Methylate. Right. We might actually see a scrum here, but there's still a bit of a delay as number 21, Jemison Gibson Park, the replacement fly half, getting a scrum half,
Scrum
rather,
cap.
getting a scrum cap. He felt like it was necessary.
Arendse back on?
Arendse is on, but it's just a blood replacement for
Mapimpi.
Magazola Mapimpi. Kieran Treadwell, the Ulster man, gets his 9th cap as he makes his way on the park for Tyg Byrne, who's now officially bled for his country.
Busted nose. Oh, he's wearing more scars. Check stick scars, man. You're gonna do fine.
He's already spent the first half with half of the team's cotton wool in his nose. Right, time to pack down now.
Let's see.
Scrum time. South Africa have been dominating the scrum since the replacements came onto the park. Ratsego Faritso and Che, or Ox as he's affectionately known, partnering with Bongi and Bonambi to have a monster scrum. South Africa not getting the momentum they would have liked there because Ireland will pick and go out the back. Good bit of work there from Gibson Park. Directing traffic. Strange to see a scrum half with the cap on, but nevertheless, this is where he finds himself. Box kick at the back of the ruck. It's a terrible one, and South Africa knock it on, and so Ireland will have a penalty advantage. Van der Fleer already got 1 try to his name, up to the 10-meter line in his own half. Hands it off to Kieran Treadwell. First touch of the game for him. Moves away now, and a carry by Caelan Doris. And it's not released. And so the Springboks have a penalty between 10 and 22. And Willie Leroux is immediately pleading for the ball to say, come on, let's get it out quickly. Good bit of work there by Dion Fourie.
Fantastic work by the South Africans to regather possession. They are now going for the corner. Very, very good. They need the point. They have to make something stick now to the Springboks before it gets too much too soon with 15 minutes left in this game.
It's not going to go out. It's caught on the 5-meter line. No man. Balakoon brings it into his number 15, Keenan. Good bit of work there.
Who came in from the side there?
By Kurtley Arendse. It looked like there was a bit of a handling error there. Kieran Treadwell providing the scrum half duties there. Right. Finally, Gibson Park gets on his feet. Into his own in-goal area for it to be thumped away. And this will be kicked out. Oh, will it be kept in? No, it will be kept in. Now, generally, rather Willemse with a bit of fancy footwork there. Faf de Klerk looking for options. He don't know where he was going to go besides to his right. And then the Springboks are playing right to left. He was about 2 meters in from the touchline. Leroux, Dialenda in midfield. Support from Nche. And South Africa continue with the turnover ball going to the far side. Kick through. Cheslin Colby. Can he get it through? Jesse Krill hands it off, and South Africa got possession. My word, it's 3 meters away from the try line. Faf de Klerk. Does he go himself? He doesn't. He goes Etzebeth. Still 3 meters out. Faf de Klerk looking for an option. He comes back inside. Willemse. Dalendi. Somebody wants it out wide. Kurtley Arendse. Can he get the hand on the ball? No. Brought down. 2 or 3 meters short are the Springboks. Dalendi. Willie Leroux. Through to Franco Mostert as he touched down. Oh, this is going to be one to go upstairs. Referee
advantage though to the box.
Going upstairs. Has he grounded it? He seems confident, but the Georgian referee wants to have a look with his partner from England.
Try or penalty? So, so the referee is playing advantage to the box.
The problem I've had though is Amos Shikeli said advantage, and then suddenly he's just given a penalty to Ireland. So that's what I'm concerned about. Okay, so that's not a double grounding. That's clear. That's a try for me.
Yeah.
He's hit the line. He's hit the line with the first touch.
Get another angle. The rest of the ball is over the line. They're going to say grounded it.
I'm sure he's going to say it's grounded short. No, it's a try. South Africa have a try. Yes.
Nice.
There's the first of
Our
11 points that we need to get back. So 5. And then if we can convert, there will be another opportunity for the Springboks to receive the kickoff. It was a great bit of work from Jesse Creel to keep it in field, and even better work from Cheslin Colby to keep it from going sideways in terms of the momentum of that effort. Dion Fourie brought down about 3 meters short. Curtly Aronson in support. Dialende through to Willie Leroux. Franco Mostert, and he gets it over.
Oh, fantastic passage of play by the box. As Philip says, lined up. Cheslin Colby lined up. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not been easy kicking for anybody today. A couple of missed penalties. Can Colby get it? It's the upright. No, man. So still needing 6 points to go ahead here, but that is well within their grasp. 12 minutes remaining in this encounter. And
do you go now?
Good bit of work there from Mostert to finish. If I am given the opportunity to go for the corner or to
go for points now, go for the 3,
go for poles.
Yeah,
you almost
in this situation, 10 minutes left.
Omani has made his way off the park, and he's been replaced by Jack Conan, home fan here, or a homeboy here is at Leinster. Right, good catch by Franco Mostert, just over his own 22 and able to get a bit of forward momentum on the way down. Faf de Klerk looking to set up for a box kick. Can he do so? Oh, dummy, and he goes on his own. Bit of a running ball here for the Springboks. Willie Leroux in the center of the field sends it out wide. Dion Fourie getting some forward momentum here. Support from Cheslin Colby, but the Irish are all on top of it. And are they able to turn it over? No, they're not. Carrying now is Eben Etzebeth. Faf de Klerk pleading with the referee to give him some sort of benefit there, but not finding it. Again, sending up for the box kick and not going through it. Willie Leroux. Hendrikse, and then it's Dialende. Good bit of work. Handoff. Sit down, son. The bus is full. In the middle of the park now is Franco Mostert. In the way is number 5 for Ireland. South Africa looking again like they're going to set up for a box kick, but going to Damian Willemse, who thumps this in between 2 Irish men at home. Kick up and under there. Hansen is going to be the one to chase it. He doesn't get a hand on it. Willemse immediately kicks it away. Is he going to kick it out? He is. It's out on the full, and they'll go back to where the kick was. Just a small error there from Damian Willemse.
Net gain, though, I guess. No, net loss.
Yeah, not what he would have been happy with. Just grimacing there. Perhaps a little bit too excited from South Africa's number 10, and it was so narrowly in touch. So he won't be terribly unhappy with himself, but it's just those types of errors when you're behind can make the difference in terms of how this game can pan out in the last 10 minutes. And taking you through play-by-play will be Anis Mohammed. If you want to tweet us at OneWorldSR, if you want to support us, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all those things, patreon.com/OneWorldSR.
We see Peter O'Mahony. That's
O'Mahony.
When I see that name, I think of the guy from Police Academy. As we are just awaiting the play to get back underway.
Just not sure what treatment for somebody, I'm sure.
Yeah, not getting any visuals of what is going on in back play as the box.
Always being his water.
Yeah.
That's pretty much. If anybody's wondering what Kian Healy, 119th cap today. Certainly no shortage of experience. Surprisingly that he didn't start, because the starting 3 were all Leinster men.
As the Springboks contest the lineup well. This one is put up in the air by Ireland. It's going to fall just outside the Springbok 22. Well contested by Cheslin Colby. South Africa get possession. as Van de Klerk now marshalling the back line and a poor pass there in the South African 22. Willemse under a bit of pressure, clears his line though, and doesn't find touch as Ireland run back at South Africa. And a monster tackle by the replacement 8-man for South Africa, as they are now, the Ireland is just banging against the South African door again, just outside the 22. Now, finally, nope, still outside the 22. Now, just inside the South African 22, as they recycle possession and are breaking against this wall of a South African of South African players, as penalty advantage is called and will be granted, and it is penalty for offside.
Yeah, it was a great attempt there from Johnny Sexton, looking out for the replacement 23. And why we say he's the replacement 23, because he wasn't initially in the match day squad, seeking him out there at the near side touchline, but because of the advantage, not able to find the intended target. But they decided to go to polls here. Can't say that you blame them.
Put South Africa with 8 minutes to go, making South Africa have to score twice is very, very clever rugby. If they get it over, we also have to remember South Africa haven't won in Ireland since 2012. So Ireland hoping to keep that unbeaten record for more than a decade. Yeah, at this for a decade. Yeah, in their home country. Johnny Sexton, 2 from 4, 50%, 37 meters. This one a bit easier than the 2 try conversions, which he shanked to the left. Both of them. This one is about 5 meters out from the far side touchline on the angle, 37 meters. As Sexton is now
setting up. Shank it, mate.
Pull it again.
Do us a favor. Some nervous-looking young man. Mbonge Manambi is showing him his wonderfully bald head from behind. He's turning his back on him. When the world turns its back on you, you turn your back on the world.
You turn your back on the world. Shank it. Sorry, I know we're not supposed to be biased, but as Sexton comes in, and this one he gets just. And Ireland now lead 19 points to 11. South Africa have to score twice in the last 6 minutes of this game in order to pull through and get the W.
Bridge too far, methinks.
Yep.
Oh, it helps if you take your own line at your kickoff.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastically taken. Kickoff taken by Cheslin Colby and gathered by Willemse as the South Africans rumble forward in the Irish 22. Irish player lying all over in front of Van de Klerk, who is complaining to the ref, as this one is spread wide and it is hit out of the hands of the box, and it will be.
I think the referee is going to have a word with his assistant.
Took a player out, tackling a player without the ball.
Andrea Piardi is the assistant.
And South Africa
hairless assistant. He's a bald man.
Oh, you're just seeing replays of the fantastic.
Oh, come on, he's not got the ball there. That's poor from Hansen.
Yeah, I think that's that's what the penalty was for, and South Africa have taken the scrum.
Can you blame them? Can you blame them? Tie up all the forwards and then have a textbook move from the training ground here for the back.
Yeah, having I have Cheslin Colby coming in at pace to receive the ball. Yes. Up and that's a card. That must be a card. As Van de Klerk takes it from the back and is now rumbling forward. South Africa about 12 meters out as they rumble forward. Brought down again. We can see South Africa 5 meters out now. So recycling to Malherbe as this one is being driven forward by the South African forwards. as Jason Colby now taking the scrum off position. Daming, jinking left, right, and is smothered in a tackle. Faf de Klerk now back at scrum off. Leroux, his pass gets read as South Africa now jink it left, and it's over. My God, the answer in the corner. This
Strong bit of work
be...
there from Eben Etzebeth. Just a hand off Mac Hansen. That's what you get for playing dodgy. He just lobs it casually to Kurtley Arendse, who's on the field, remind you, for a blood replacement.
Yeah.
And is able to stick it down.
Oh, going around
South
the
Africa
corner.
within 3.
Yes. And now the conversion, the all-important conversion. Can the Boks make it? And it's going to be wide. Nope. Cheslin Colby does not get that one, trying to rush things off as there are 3.5 minutes left. Oof. Just seeing the big hits coming from Ireland now, defending with their lives. Ireland are going to drive South Africa all the way back into their 22. They're going to have to run from deep in their own half in order to get anywhere near the score. 3 points in it. Rassie Erasmus has moved from the corner of the coaching box to right next to Jacques Nienaber. The stress is getting. The referee is telling the Irish to hurry up.
Yeah, they're intentionally slowing this game down. And it's unnecessary, really. I mean, this is just pure gamesmanship from the Irish.
Yeah, call time off.
Joey Carberry, the Munster man. Just, I mean, common sense has finally prevailed.
Yeah. Strolling.
We switch on time.
And there comes the boot. South Africa deep into their 22. And it's taken by Faf de Klerk, who is jinking and boots this one down the ground. And it is straight out into touch. South Africa. Ireland will have the throw in inside South Africa's half on the 10-meter line. It's going to be really, really tight. Can South Africa gather possession? Will Ireland gather possession and just wear out the last 2.5 minutes as they're having another powwow now to waste even more time?
Joey Carberry, Munster cap and Munster man, gets his 36th cap today, replacing 109 caps in his captain, Johnny Sexton.
Here it comes, and it is Ireland regathers possession, and they are going to slow things down for the last 2 minutes of the game. Oh, there's a ball spilled out the back, and it's a great run by Eben Etzebeth, but it's a penalty to Ireland for kicking the ball out of the back of the ruck. Thought that the ball spilled out. And
just a bit of gamesmanship there from one of the Springboks, and that's why it wasn't to their favor. This doesn't help now because South Africa are going to have to defend a line out probably within 15 meters of their own try line.
There's a minute and a half left. Just not enough time.
Come on, where's the intercept try? Cheslin Colby for the win.
Can they do it? Can they get the position on this line out? They are congesting everything now. And there is a minute, 10 seconds left, minute 9 now. South Africa need a big effort here, just outside the 22. In comes the Irish throw. Faf de Klerk saying they're wasting time. Here it comes, and they take it clean, and here comes the maul. And Ireland, the ball's available. And now they're just going to keep it in the powder forwards and just rumble it through the middle with 30 seconds left on the clock. Oh, big clean out by South Africa. But the ball is not out, and there is no advantage given. So Ireland just holding on to possession now. Again, up the middle, holding on to possession. 20 seconds left on the clock. Just sending the forwards in and just holding on to it with 12 seconds left into another pot of forward. South Africa fighting for every last bit of it, but Ireland retain possession. 5 seconds left in this game. 3, 2, 1. There we go. And here comes the big boot. And that's the game. Ireland defeats South Africa 19 points to 16, keeping their unbeaten record for a decade in Ireland. A gargantuan effort in the first half by South Africa, ruining, not being able to finish what they did. But a good blueprint for what we can expect to see for the rest of this tour. South Africa playing at a very, very high pace, just being let down in a couple of areas.
Yeah, there was key moments in that game in which South Africa should have made the most of it. A couple of opportunities that have gone a begging. And an important point there from Eugene Leroux saying, and that is why you don't go into a test match without a recognized goal kicker. I agree, but it's also a recognition of the difficult kicking conditions, because even Johnny Sexton with 100 and plus caps has struggled with goal kicking today. But I see what you mean. Thank you, Eugene Leroux. Olani Dave Mundy, thank you so much for your support as well. Lingenfelder, Cornet, Demo Anunnaki, as well as everybody else who has joined us for this game. Victor Gericke, Elephant Sale, Sam Jam, and Drika van der Linden. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us for this game. Next week, Saturday, it is the game against the French. They're in Marseille for that fixture. And so South Africa, after one bruising encounter, will have another one. Kickoff will be 10 p.m. So we will be with you for that fixture from Stade Vélodrome in Marseille, France. It is going to be an incredible day for South African rugby. Once again, a tough encounter. So if you want to support us, this is how you do it. Go to Facebook, give that page a thumbs up. Go to Twitter at OneWorldSR, follow us, and tweet at us. Mine is at Coach Dave, Anis's at Anis Moha, and Otto's at Ozmaster. So you can tweet us and we will see it and want you to be a part of the conversation. Tell us what you thought about this game. Where did we slip up as the Springboks? Then the next part is YouTube. Go to YouTube, click the subscribe button, ding the bell, know exactly when we go live, and like this video as well, please. We want you to tell your friends that we will be bringing you every single moment of the Autumn Internationals live in 2022. And the final way that you can support us, please, if you are able to do so, patreon.com patreon.com/OneWorldSR. And if you'd like to advertise or be part of the commentary team, admin at onewsr.com. We would love to have you as part of our team of voices. My name is Coach Dave. Alongside me for the first little bit was Otto Simon. But to wrap up was Anis Mohammed. We want to thank you all for this incredible performance from you as the fans, but some lessons to be learned by the Springboks. 3 points in it as they finish at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. Ireland 19, South Africa 16. Have a good evening, guys.
Ciao, ciao.